So it looks like Chucky's gone, right? Not. Hey there, it's Kristen, and today we are talking about episode 5 in Syfy's Chucky series. In this episode, we are continuing our modern day story with Jake and his friends, as well as flashing back to more of a young adult Charles Lee Ray as he meets Tiffany Valentine. I was very excited about this. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see how this iconic duo met. Tiffany's the one that was like, hey, you should go by Chucky instead of Charles. He's like, hey, you should be blonde. While I liked kind of the little bit of a twist on how they met, I thought that the overall story there was a little weak. I think what in particular threw me off was just that weird connection between him and Delilah, who I was like, wait, is that Tiffany? Who is this? And then also hearing the voices of the actual people who played Tiffany and Chucky dubbing over the voices of the younger people. I just thought that it seemed like a weird lip sync that did not work very well. And now getting into our modern day story, Lexie's dad has chucked the Chucky doll because now that he's melty, he's really creepy and Caroline is not into him anymore. He throws him down like a hospital chute and he lands in all of these disgusting like leftover needles and things like that. And I don't know why Jake and Lexie and Devon decided they needed to dig through this contaminated garbage to see if Chucky was there. I think it's pretty obvious that Chucky like would have left at that point. Like, he does his own thing. Like, wherever you think he's gonna be, he's like steps ahead of you. So a lot of what they were doing just felt like they were wasting their own time. Although I guess it was kind of funny to see Chucky like getting high. I was kind of like, oh god, of course, he's such a goof.
God, I love hospitals.
We also see this, new trio that are gonna go up against Chucky, kind of debating, do we want to include Junior in this? Do we want to get him involved? And I think really nobody's gonna believe what's going on, and Lexie kind of shows that. It is a pretty out there story, so unless Junior actually sees it firsthand, he's not gonna believe that Chucky's real. There's also some Easter eggs in here where they bring in a new good guy doll for Caroline, and his name's Tommy, and we've definitely seen, Tommy's appear before in the Chucky franchise. And then the melty Chucky's back in the house, and the dad's like, what the heck, how did this get back here? And he throws in the garbage, which, like, we've seen so many times, people throwing Chucky in the garbage. It doesn't do anything. The kids know that Chucky's been thrown out. They're like, okay, we're gonna beat him up, we're gonna destroy him. They think they've defeated him. So it looks like Chucky's gone, right? Not. Chucky has switched places with the Tommy doll by doing his voodoo magic. I thought that was a cool way to kind of reset Chucky by having him, switch to another doll body, because that just gives more opportunity for, more things to happen to him, more melty faces, more sewn up faces, explosions, whatever. Him have these crazy looks, but then also still be able to go back to, reset by taking over another Chucky doll body. We also get to see some of the iconic people from the films show up in this episode, including Nika and Tiffany. Nika, I gotta say, oh my gosh, Fiona Dourif does such a great job of imitating the same Chucky voice that her father does. I think that's incredible. And there's some really interesting dynamics there where Nika as Chucky and Tiffany are this like dynamic power duo, but there are certain moments where Nika is still there, like mentally and physically. So you kind of start noticing when she sees blood, she reverts back to being Nika, and then she can't walk, and so there's like this power balance of like Nika and Chucky trying to control this body. They also throw us back to The Curse of Chucky, which I think doesn't really line up. That movie came out in 2017, and this is supposed to be taking place 2 weeks later, but it's clearly 2021. We like saw evidence of that in past episodes, so I think there was a little bit of like weirdness going on with the timeline. And we get a bunch of answers and reveals in this episode as well. Devon and Jake have their first kiss. We find out that Junior's mom has stage 4 cancer. That's the big secret she's been hiding. And this trio have defeated Chucky, right? Not. Of course Chucky's not defeated. It is, you can't defeat Chucky, So we see that he is definitely still around when the principal is decapitated at a school function. They play that Heads Will Roll song that's been punctuating every single trailer and, promo, and I found it to be a bit anticlimactic, to be honest. We got a lot of answers in this episode. I was glad to finally see Nika and Tiffany, but overall, this had to be, in my opinion, the weakest episode out of all of them. I thought the story of, how Tiffany and Chucky met, just felt off, especially because of the way that they did the voiceovers. I just thought that the first 4 episodes of the season were so strong, and we ended in this crazy place in that last episode with like the 3 kids are gonna work together, Chucky's giving them the finger, like we are gonna go on this crazy journey, and then this one just, I didn't think it worked. I'm hoping like the fact that the production was not as good is just like a blip on the radar, and that this season will continue to be as strong as it was for those first 4 episodes. So crossing my fingers, and you know, we're a little bit more than halfway through the season now, so I'm glad that we're continuing to get answers to like who was Chucky before he became, you know, a doll. And I'm glad that we're now getting to see some of those OG characters make their way into the story, and I'm just hoping that, you know, we continue to go up from here. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you think about this episode of Chucky? Did you feel the same way as me, or maybe you loved it? Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out the exclusive Discord available on my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!